Hey there, and welcome to Matt's Garage. Well, today I'm working on this 2010, I believe, Subaru Forester that it broke down on my sister-in-law about a year and a half ago, and it broke down briefly and then started up again. Sounds like an electrical problem to me, so we're going to start by cleaning up all the electrical connections. Then we'll get a battery in it, get it started up, and see if it generates any codes. Previously a mechanic looked at it, put a code reader on it, and apparently it generated lots of codes, and to me that spells a bad electrical connection. So that's why I'm going to start with the electrical connections. So we'll just get under the hood, and I did look at this car once before, a few months ago, but I didn't really check much. I already checked the transmission fluid because somebody else had said that there was a transmission problem, which didn't even make sense to the symptoms, but I checked the fluid, it's nice and clean. This vehicle has, I believe, 190,000 kilometers on it, so it's not terribly high mile or anything like that. So I'm kind of expecting there won't be much of an issue. This battery is right dead, so I'll get that pulled out right away here. And the kids are playing in the pool over there, so if you hear noise, that's what that's all about. I told them not to worry about it. Oh, and I should explain, this was supposed to be like 3 days working on this and really going over it, and unfortunately you can see I'm driving a PT Cruiser and not a V8 powered Mercedes, because I blew up my differential at the beginning of the trip, and that was after I had spent a day of the trip working on the blower motor on the interior fan, and got that all working. Then we left on the trip and blew up the differential. So at that point we just my mom came along and met us where the tow truck was with her PT, and we jumped into PT and continued our trip. Anyways, I've still got today to work on the car, and I'm gonna do everything I can. It's also got a power steering leak that I'm just gonna look at. I don't think I'll have time to address it today, unfortunately, but I'll see how severe it is. Oh, and before anyone screams head gaskets, these engines, the turbo ones, use a multi-layer steel head gasket, and they're not prone to head gasket failure like the non-turbo Subarus. And even the non-turbo Subarus, the newer ones, they use a multi-layer steel gasket too. It's only the older ones that used a composite gasket that was a problem. So I was gonna bring a battery along in the Mercedes because it has a sealed trunk, but the PT doesn't. So I decided I'm just gonna take the battery from the PT. I think that'll work, and put it in here. So I'll start with the obvious connections, the battery connections, and then I gotta find the grounds and clean them up, and we'll go from there. I'm just gonna go ahead and take this engine cover off. Brute force worked. Okay, so I'll definitely get that connection cleaned up. I'll take this all apart, clean this up. Then I see down here there's a major ground point down there on the frame rail, and there'll be the connection on the starter, I know, is back there. This is all very similar to my Niaru, which is based on a Forester, a non-turbo one, but otherwise very similar. So I know where most of this stuff is, and yeah, we'll just get busy here. Nothing too exciting, just a little wire brush and some dielectric grease, and I'll just speed up the footage. I just buy these little wire brushes on Amazon. It's like a toothbrush, but those are stainless bristles. Works really good for this. Okay, that about does it. Now I'm gonna put this Lubrimatic dielectric grease on, and the purpose of that is not to create a better connection, it's just to protect the connection that's created from moisture intrusion. Basically it insulates it. This is non-conductive. There we go. The same thing, just get in here and clean everything up. This was just good preventative maintenance, if nothing else, but it's how I would always start an electrical diagnosis. Take all this apart and clean it all up. Just gonna put a good coating of this on everything. I like to move the connection around to make sure I'm making a solid connection as I'm tightening it. Okay, so there's a ground right there too. Probably need this off anyway. This one's pretty bad. If it seems like I have a lot of emphasis on grounds on my channel, it's because like multiple vehicles that have been broken down, I have gotten running this way. Grounds are the basis of your electrical system, and any modern car isn't going to go far without an electrical system. Okay, so I'm just going to take this 120 amp fuse out next and clean it. I would imagine that's the ignition fuse. Okay, well I was really excited because I pulled out the ignition fuse and look at that. It's burnt out. But I noticed somebody's put a loop of wire under it, which is not something I would do, and I'm going to get one of these fuses and replace that because that wire might not be flowing. This is 120 amps, so it might not flow 120 amps, and it might be overheating. See, no blowing head gasket. That looks all nice in there. And that looks really good too, actually. I should do a walk around of the outside. It's a pretty nice car. I mean, it wasn't like a cheap car when they bought it, and they did drive it for a while. But somebody told them it wasn't worth fixing, and I'm like, what the heck? It's totally worth fixing. So yeah, if I can get it figured out what it needs today at least. Even the tires are good, everything. I think they even have another set of tires for it. And inside it could use a cleanup, but it's not too bad. Okay guys, well it turns out the power steering leak is incredibly simple. You can see right there somebody's done a really bad job of patching that up. And the reason they did this is you have to unbolt this whole cross member piece here to access the other end of that hose. But I'm going to do that. I put the new hose in there, and guess what? This bag I just pack in the car when I'm on road trips, and I have all these spare hoses in here. And I happen to have this spare power steering hose that's the perfect length. And I didn't pack a jack or anything, just working with minimal tools here, so but I think we can get this done. There's a nut in the back side there. I'll get a wrench. This is 14. There we go. So this is the hose, and somebody just put a connector in here. I have no idea why you would do that. It's really not that hard to get at. It looks like somebody was in here though, because they put a, that's not a Subaru clamp. There we go. The heck was going on here? Holy, that was the problem. They spliced it with a piece of just line with nothing flared on the ends or anything like that. Wow, that is crazy. That's a good snug fit. Okay, well I got the hose handled there. Right now I'm gonna just pop that ground off right there and there, but then there's another little one right there too. So I'll get both of those cleaned up. That's the main ground, and there should be another one over here. Well, there's one right there. There should be another one going to the cylinder head. Okay guys, just cleaning up this ground on the other frame rail, and now that I'm under here I can see there's a broken ground right there. That should go to the head. Okay guys, you can see I got the new fuse in there. It was only $10, so I have no idea why somebody would do this. And that is so light duty, it's not going to show on camera. I know it's not going to, but you can actually see a spot where it got hot and melted the wires. I just have 2 more connections to clean up, just on the starter there and the negative, the main negative. I cleaned up the alternator one, did all the grounds underneath, got that power steering fixed. I just got to fill up the reservoir, and yeah, just about ready to stick a battery in here and start it up for the first time in almost 2 years. Okay guys, well actually we just started it here. I'm a terrible YouTuber and I forgot to turn on the camera, but I had topped up the power steering. I had cleaned up the starter connection and the negative there. I swapped the battery out of the PT in here just to get it started, and the thing is, as soon as I connected that negative, the alarm was going off, so I told my brother-in-law here to just start it to get the alarm to turn off. So he did, and it started fine. And then it's leaking power steering fluid, but not from where I repaired it. So I'm just going to start it up here again and check. Okay, so that's good. We don't have any lights. I got a bucket under it right now, so I can let it run. Okay, you can see it's just gushing out, and it's literally coming out like a hole in the housing. There's a pinhole in the housing. Or is it in the line? No, it's in the line. Oh, I might be able to fix that. See that? There's a pinhole in the line and it's spraying up and leaking down. There's nothing showing up on the dash. I really think that silly fuse was the whole problem with this car. See, the only thing we have is a fog light error there. Otherwise, we're golden. So I'm just letting it run to see if it generates any codes, because I'm going to take the battery out again. I need to put it back in the PT. And we just want to make sure that we have the problem fixed before he buys a battery for it and insures it and everything. But I think we got her here. So thanks a lot for watching Matt's Garage. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourself a great day.